in the beginning here is just a general big picture orientation where I'm going to talk briefly about the resources available to you, how you can be successful in the course, as well as some other big goals that we'll be thinking about. Resource-wise, we have our Blackboard classroom. This course is going to be offered asynchronously, which means there's no live aspect to the course. We will use a lot of these recorded lectures like you're viewing now. And we will also be interacting a lot with Blackboard in the form of all of our assignments and quizzes will be entered that way. So there's no paper aspect to it. Everything is completed online. I really want to emphasize a learning environment in which we engage and learn from each other. So it's not just an instructor talking at you all the time. I'd like to be learning from you and sharing from your experiences as well. My teaching philosophy sort of starts at a place of trust, and I trust in your ability to do the work and to communicate with each other and with the instructor specifically if you're having any challenges or difficulties. So again, that brings me to the third item there, the instructor. We're all adults, and I understand the challenges of family, work, and school, and trying to balance those things. So if you have any difficulties with the course or with certain challenges life is presenting you with at this time, please communicate with me via email, and we can talk about how we might strategically work with all the variables that you're coping with. The next resource is going to be the textbook and the workbook, and we will talk a little bit more about those, but I want to make sure that you have both of those items. We'll be using the workbook heavily. You'll be completing all of those assignments there, and what students have found in other courses is it's helpful to complete the workbook actually in the workbook with a pencil or a pen, and then transfer your answers to the Blackboard classroom when you're ready. And that's how I'll know you've completed that part. And in general, some ideas for how to be successful. This course is very intensive in that there's a lot of information to cover. There's a test at the end, which is the state certification exam, and that is how we will deem you qualified to perform the basic functions of a home health aide or a personal care attendant as seen by the state of Alaska. So there is some intensity in that there's a certification exam at the end. You will also have a functional skills assessment where you need to show up in person and work with the instructor to make sure that we observe you performing those functional skills. And we'll be talking about those each week as we go through the course. So you'll be very familiar with those items, but understand that you'll need to know how to do them step by step. So to be successful in that you've got a lot of volume of material to cover, you'll want to make sure that you read the chapters ideally before trying to complete your assignments. You can read the chapter, then you can try to complete your assignment, and that's sort of a way of studying in that you can try to answer the questions, and if you don't know the answer, you can refer to your textbook. So it's a way for you to self-assess whether you have absorbed the information from your reading. I'll also ask you to complete some quizzes and tests every week, talking about the material, and all of that is practice for you to get ready for that state certification exam. We want you to practice as much as possible with different types of questions, multiple choice, fill in, that type of thing, so that when you get to that exam, it will all be very familiar to you, and you'll find yourself comfortable in that type of setting. Really a good idea to stay up to date and communicate with me or your instructor, and if you fall behind, let the instructor know as soon as possible so you guys can work out an alternative arrangements. I encourage students to catch up as soon as possible because the further you get behind, the more it feels overwhelming to try to catch up. And again, the big goal is to have you integrate this information into your practice so that you can, of course, provide high quality home care to clients, but also ultimately pass the state certification exam. So those are two big goals and things that you can look forward to at the end of this semester. I'll close this session and start another one in which I'll walk you through a little bit of the Blackboard classroom.